Hey guys, so every few months, Viparspectra sends me a new grow light to try out and to give my feedback on. This last one they sent me is quite different from anything they've sent me or I've seen before in terms of grow lights. It's a completely redesigned and reimagined grow light, but it's not for everyone. So have you ever thought to switching some of your growing indoors? For those of you who live in really short summer climates, or for those of you who have very hot and humid summer climates where both those situations make it almost impossible to grow something like tomatoes well, the option of growing indoors is something that's growing in popularity. Now, I toyed with growing a tomato indoors a couple years ago. I completely failed at it. I didn't have a lot of information or experience, and so I just kind of put it in a grow tent under lights. Didn't work out. So this new grow light, take a look. Have you seen anything like that before? That's not going to fix the issues that I had before. It will give me a great light that will actually light up a larger space. Now, I did say this grow light isn't for everyone. If you came to this video looking for a grow light to start your seeds, grow your seedlings under, this is not the light for you. This is a light for someone who wants to grow a plant like a tomato or something else to maturity indoors. If you're here for the seedling setup, I have another video. I will link it up here and down in the video description that will show you grow lights for every budget starting at around $15. But if you're looking for some basic professional grow light knowledge and you want to try growing something like tomatoes, peppers, loofah, sweet potatoes, things that take a long time to grow and you may not have the length of season for that, this could be the video for you. Now, I haven't done a real review on Viparspectra products since the very beginning of when I started using their product, which was over a year ago. I have hit the high points of the products when I show me using them when I'm doing seedlings or whatever. But this light is a completely different beast from anything I've showed you before. This is the new KS5000 from Viparspectra. It's designed for a 4-foot by 4-foot coverage and has 6 LED bars. The issue with a lot of grow lights is the uniformity and the actual amount of light coverage. This isn't an issue really with seedlings and tiny plants, but when you start growing something to maturity, you need to make sure you have full coverage. You need to have a strong enough light that is going to penetrate through all the layers of leaves between the light and some of the lower leaves. You also want to watch out for hot spots and cold spots. Hot spots usually on a light are in the center, and as you move out from that center, it gets colder or less intense. And that's usually because the light itself is a lot smaller than the area that it is meant to cover. So the plants in the middle are going to get a higher concentration of light and all the full spectrum than the outside plants. Now, if you wanted to make a grow light and you had it solid and it was 4x4 and it's meant to cover a 4x4 area, that light would be way too intense for the plants you're trying to grow underneath it. And so that's where this light bar design came into being. It spreads out the light over the 4x4 area, taking into account hot spots, as you notice, and this folds for storage and for shipping. But if you notice, this center section is a little bit further apart than the outer sections. They've also spread out the different types of LEDs in kind of an algorithm that really disperses the full spectrum across the entire 4-foot by 4-foot light. Like I said, it folds for storage and for shipping. It comes to you this way. But there is nothing flimsy about this, which is weird because it's really lightweight, but it is super, super strong and sturdy. Like all the other Viparspectra full spectrum lights, it uses superior components. It features the Samsung and Osram diodes. These were specifically designed for maximum plant support and higher energy efficiency to both increase the yield of crops and decrease your energy cost. This is designed for optimal full cycle spectrum and even par distribution. PAR stands for photosynthetic active radiation. Basically, the amount of photosynthesis that can happen with these diodes. It's designed for full growth all the way through the life cycle, from germination to vegetative growth to flowering and fruiting. Like I mentioned, there is an algorithm to this. I'm going to push this closer to the camera and you can see. Like I mentioned, in the center, these bars are further apart, and then they're closer here. But you can also see that to the outer corners and edges, the actual diodes are closer together, which means, they make up for the lack of these being on the outer edges, and usually that would be a cold spot, but now they've got more diodes there. And again, they are LEDs, so they are low cost in terms of energy. This is only a 500 watt light, and it covers an entire 4x4 space. And that's gonna give you more healthy, balanced growth. Now, just like all the other Viparspectra products, and one of the reasons I love them so much is they have the dimmer knob. So you don't have to raise and lower the light with the plants anymore. It also has this external control box and heat sink that if you're using a grow tent, you can put it outside the grow tent, so you're not adding any extra heat to the growing environment. And then there's a long cord that goes from that box to the light itself. And so these just plug in, screw on to tighten them up. Now, when I grew my last plants indoors, I grew them in a grow tent. If I do this again, let me know if you think I should grow a tomato plant or something indoors to fruiting. But if I do it again, I don't know if I would use a grow tent, but whether or not I do, the power supply being on the outside of the tent would not get as hot, and the light from Viparspectra is a lot cooler than the light I was using. So I had fried my plants basically in that tent. The actual temperature measured on these light bars is actually 117 degrees Fahrenheit. That's really cool. The power box is only 105 degrees. But again, that can be outside of the growing environment to not add heat to your plants. So I have a link to this product in the video description, including all of the discounts that our channel gets through Viparspectra, all the links there for that. So again, this is not for those of you who want to just start seeds. Got lots better options for that, lots cheaper options for that. But if you are thinking about growing indoors to maturity like I am right now, this might be something you want to look into. I'll see you next time.